This Night Maven. Today will be a hands-on lab to help you understand the overall architecture and the many building blocks of Cisco Webex calling solution. We will start just by enabling an organization and its associated user for Webex calling in the Control Hub portal. Then we'll move on to configure a promise-based trunk with a cube Cisco unified border elements using either a certificate-based or register-based local gateway, here LGW, and we'll make it along with associated call routing options. Then how do we deploy a local gateway for the PSTN calling? With the feature of PSTN calling, I can bring my own PSTN to provide a PSTN connection to my cloud register endpoints. There are two models to configure local gateway for Webex calling trunk. Whereas one is register-based, I talked about it, and certificate-based trunk. The register-based local gateway, this is a simple option for the two or required one-way connection from local gateway to Webex calling. In this model, the local gateway maintains an active SIP registration to the cloud, and this model supports up to 250 concurrent calls. And the other one, of course, is certificate-based local gateway. This model will require publicly signed certificates to be installed to own the local gateway, and it uses the full bi-directional connections with Webex. So this is a little complex model compared to register-based registration. However, it supports way more concurrent calls, and this model supports more than 250 concurrent calls. So this video will talk about first option is using the local gateway routes the call between the Webex calling and the PSTN gateway. No IP PBX like Cisco CUCM will be involved. Okay, and the PSTN gateway can be either dedicated cube, it can be cube, or it can co-residence with the local gateway cube. Okay, and in this lab, the PSTN gateway is a dedicated cube. So before we start this lab, let's update this Webex Control Hub idle timeout. By default, Webex Control Hub logs out every 20 minutes. So let's update that timeout so I would not need to log in to Webex Control Hub multiple times. On Webex Control Hub, on the left side panel, we'll go to the management and find out organization settings. On the organization settings page, we're going to scroll down a little, and we'll find the drop down option for Control Hub idle timeout. We'll make it to like no timeout and save. Now we'll go to service and find the calling. We're going to add the numbers. On the add a number page, we're going to drop down the option, say add a number, and find the location for decals, and number is PSTN number, and we're going to edit the numbers right here. We're going to be taken to edit PSTN connection for the location, and under the connection, we're going to choose premises-based PSTN and click next. On the following data page, and we're going to drop down an option for the calling choice. We'll find for none. Even though none option is being shown as it is selected, I still have to click the drop down option here, and then we're going to choose none again, right? And next. Then we'll click add numbers now, and will be taken back to the adding number page with PSTN connection. Here's populated. Click next. I will have some DNDs, the IDs numbers are fake populated, and we're going to paste them here. Some numbers might be marked in red, and this because the number is either already used or taken by someone else. I can remove all the number marked in red, and we're going to continue after. There you go. I have a few numbers left. Click save. Just remember, you will not face this issue of numbers being taken in the production because you own numbers from your telco provider for your organization. So this number will be different for each data center, and Webex will format them automatically, and if needed, add respective local number codes, etc. Now we're going to close this. Now we've been taken to the number page where I can see all numbers that I have just added. Now let's assign one of these numbers to the dcloud location. We'll go to the management and locations. We'll find my location. Let's go to the calling tab. I will notice that it's under, under main number field. Here, there's a warning that reads you will not be able to make and receive calls until this number is added. Then let's job and pick a number. As soon as I save, the warning will disappear, showing now my location can make and receive calls. Then this app will be using user like called Charles Holland, extension 61A, to make inbound outbound calls. Let's assign the Webex calling license and the ID number to both users. We're going to check management and find the users. Let's find this user, Charles Holland. On the user summary page here, we'll find is added license. Click column. What we check is Webex Calling Professional and save. On the next page, we'll select the drop down location, phone number. Let's drop down the phone number and select one PSTN number available. Extension is 61A. Click save. Close that. Now the calling is showing Webex Calling Professional. Go to other user. What pick is Taylor. Here is editing license. We'll give Webex Calling Professional. Pick number 6026 for Taylor. Save that. Close. Well, this is how we complete assigning the Webex Calling license and the DID number to the user. Now we'll be onboarding a premises-based trunk for registration-based. We'll be enabling a local gateway for Webex calling. These will require to add a trunk in Webex Control Hub, either as a registered base or certificate base. Then we can configure the local gateway platform to establish the connectivity with Cisco Webex Calling. Lastly, will be enable the calling feature on the local gateway and based on the desired calling routing options. So this time we'll be using a registered based, my premises based trunk model. The first step is to create a trunk in the control hub. We'll need the information provided after creating the trunk to build my local gateway. Just note here, the local gateway configuration is provided for C8000V, where we're running a iOS XE version 17601A. Okay. On the calling page, we're going to find the services and the calling. We're going to add a trunk. This in the calling call routing. Here, add a trunk. Pick a location. We'll give it a name. The trunk type we'll leave it as registration based. Leave it as in default. The dual identity support will leave it as default. Save it. The trunk will be added, and the sound configuration information will be shown on the page. And I will need this information to configure the local gateway, the platform later. Now a trunk is added. Some of the configuration information will be shown in the page. So I copy all of them, and we're going to create a Word document, and we'll save this. I will need a registration domain, trunk group, OTG, DTG, line and port, and outbound proxy address. Now I will be configuring the Cube platform as a registration-based local gateway. Before we proceed with the local gateway configuration, we need to ensure that a master key must be pre-configured for the password. A master key can be configured with the commands, like can be used in the credentials and share secrets. We're gonna use a type 6 and are encrypted using AES cipher, and we'll define a user master key. So let's config key, passwords encrypt. We'll encrypt as a password to 1 to 3. Passwords encryption is AES. Okay. Then we'll do two things. We'll create a dummy PKI trust point and I call it a dummy TP. And second, we'll assign the trust points as a default singular trust point under the SIP UA. And the CN sign validates server is needed to ensure the local gateway establishes the connection only if the outbound proxy configured on tenant 200 matches the CN SAN list received from the server. The crypto trust point is needed for the TLS to work even though the local client certificate is not required for the connection to be set up, right? And finally, the third point is to disable the TLS version 1 and version 1.1, just by enabling the version 1.2. exclusively, and we'll set a TCP retry count to 1000, which will be 5 seconds. So let's do it. I'm talking too much, and crypto PKI will create a trust point. It will say dummy TP. Okay, dummy TP will revoke check CRL, right? Exodus on the SIP UA or crypto this signal default trust point is my dummy trust point, right? And CN sign validates on the server side, right? Trust transport TCP TLS, which is enabled version 1.2, and the TCP retry say 5 seconds, which is 1000. Okay. Then we'll talk about the default trust pool bundle doesn't include digit cert root CA certificate. This needed to validate the server side certificate during the TLS connection with the Webex calling, right? This needs to the CA side cert. It's on the server side. We need to validate this server cert. Okay. The trust bundle must be uploaded, and we could download the latest trust core route, trust root bundle on this Cisco security PKI site. Right, we have a lot here. Let's show crypto PKI trust point. That includes DG cert. I don't see we have it showing anything. We're going to config crypto PKI trust point, and we want to import, let's say, import clean URL, missing URL. Say HTTPS. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not a trust point, it's trust pool. Import claims URL and the URL here. Okay. Let's do one more show crypto PKI trust pool includes DG cert. Here you go. Then next few commands, we'll have to turn on the local gateway cube application on the platform. Just follow up with me, and we want to say voice service via IP and IP address trusted list. Right, it's a bunch of a public IP, so we want to typing in. Exodus. We're going to allow SIP to SIP. We want to say media statistics, media bulk stats, no supplement service, SIP refer, no supplement service, SIP handle replaces. We'll say fax protocol, T38 version 0 ls redundancy 0 HS redundancy 0 fallback no. So take cap stem flow data agent ID 1 boot count is 4 stem flow data share secret 0 password 123 and a $. Zip G729 Annex B early offer force early offer and this few commands I have to clear up is IP trust list. This is the total fraud prevention. This is to explicitly enable the source IP addresses of entities from which local gateway expect legitimate VoIP calls. For example, we have a Webex server, Webex peers, call manager, IP, PSTN. Just by default, the local gateway here blocks all incoming VoIP calls set up for an IP address, not in this trust list. The IP addresses from the Dell peers with session targets IP or server group are trusted by default and don't need it to be populated here. Okay. The IP addresses in the list needs to be matched to subnets from the port reference section of the configuration right here this page. For the Webex calling customer document. So you can take a look at all these ports that details the IP for Webex calling services. So this page includes all existing Webex data centers as of writing or making this video. But check this list for the latest. Okay, media statics is to enable media monitoring on the LGW, and media box status is to enable the control plane to pull the data plane for box call statics. Also allow SIP to SIP is to bridge the two VoIP call lags. It is disabled by default, by the way, and no supplement services SIP handle replaces. We disable refer and replaces the dialog ID and replaces header with the peer dialog ID. And next we will explain you is this. The stem, we enable stem globally when a call is forwarded back to a Webex user, such as when both the calling parties are Webex subscribers and have media anchors that add a Webex SBC. As you can see, this is a user. There's a user in the cloud, and they have a call Webex. The media cannot flow to the local gateway as ping hole is not opened, right? So the stem bridge binding feature only on the local gateway will allow globally enabled stem requested to be sent over the negotiated media path. So the share secret is arbitrary as the stem is enabled used to open the ping hole in a firewall and allow the media latching to take place in the Webex SBC. The stem passwords is a prerequisite, as you see, is a prerequisite for the local gateway or cubes to send the stem message out. The iOS or iOS based firewalls can be configured to check for these passwords and open a ping hole dynamically without explicitly in out rule. But for the local gateway, the firewall is configured to open the pinholes in the outbound direction based on the Webex SBC. So the firewall should be treated as any inbound UDP packet, which will trigger the pinhole opening without looking at the packet contents, right? And here we can show you the early offer. So this command is forcing the local gateway cube to send SDP information in initial invite message itself, instead of waiting to send the information till it gets an acknowledgement from the neighboring peer. Then I talk about all of that. Next step is to configure the SIP profile required to convert the SIP's URI back to the SIP, as the Webex does not support a SIP URL in the request or response message. Alright, then let's configure all of that. We will paste the commands right here. Take a look at rule 20 right here. The rule 20, I just pasted it. It modifies the front header to include the trunk group OTG and DTG parameters from the control hub to uniquely identify a LGW size within an enterprise. In the example here, it shows me the trunk group is dcloud trunk and a bunch of information last as LGU, right, is used, and I can see it in the trunk configuration right here, and it's right here highlighted. Make sure you will replace these example OTG and DTG with your respective trunk group OTG DTG information, right? I got to change it a little bit and take this, find this string, delete, and make sure I copy them all. Go to the configuration, and we'll have to paste again. Now it's changed as what we have for the OTG name. Okay, for the next, we'll have to configure codec profiles, down definition, and SRTP crypto suite, as later I'll explain you what they are. Okay, so voice class codec 99, codec preference 1, we use G711, neural codec preference 2 is G711 AROL. Axilis, I will say voice class SRTP crypto 200, crypto 1, we use AES CM128, that's 80. Okay, Axilis, voice class stom usage 200, stom usage firewall traversal with a flow data. Axilis, now I will explain you what I did. Voice class codec, we're going to allow G711 mu and ALO codec for the session. You are seeing this, right? And it will be applied to all die peers later. And next is voice class SRTP crypto 200. It specifies SHA SHA-180 as owning SRTP cipher suites that will be offered by the local gateway or the cube. You see here, it offered by here. and in the zip, this will be included in the zip SDP in offer and answer, and will send to the Webex. Webex only supports SHA-1 80. Remember that. And these commands will apply to the voice class 10 and 200. We'll discuss later facing the Webex. Okay, you know this. Okay. For next one is voice class storm usage 200. We'll define a storm usage, and it will be applied to all Webex facing is 200 2xx tag that appears to avoid no way audio, we call one-way audio when a call manager phone forwards the call to another Webex phone. We have a lot to discuss in one video, so I cut short for the first video for configuration of a register-based trunk for Webex calling. Please see my next video. I will continue on configuring this trunk. Okay.
Hey everyone, NetMaven here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to dive into the world of amazing network technologies with me, and please feel free to leave your comments below. Hey everyone, NetMaven here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to dive into the world of amazing network technologies with me, and please feel free to leave your comments below.